Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO delivered by Menulog, where we're about to get rowdy with our third match of the day. And of course, it is our match of the week as well.
What? You've got the giggles.
What's
it's
so
all over.
funny, Skimmy? He's been giggling all bloody break.
Kitty's like, oh my god, your socks? They match with your shirt. And I was like, yeah.
Fashionista king. Now look, I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for everyone. But of course, this is a big match. It's Order, it's Direwolves, and we also have Goodo going back up against his old roster as well. So another couple of storylines to talk about. But let's talk about these teams. Direwolves first. So, Direwolves, they've been going from strength to strength this split so far. A couple of roster swaps coming through in mid, in jungle, and it's been doing damn wonders as well as in that ADC role. Skimmy, tell me, why are New Zealanders so good at this damn game?
Oh, New Zealanders, they're just one of a kind, aren't they? Beautiful, interesting beasts. The All Blacks, they just absolutely get it done. But we're not talking about rugby, but they still get rowdy in this game as well. Danteh, the most MVPs so far, 2 to his name before coming into today. It's KDA 22-4 for a 17-year-old player that's smurfing it at high school and in the game as well. That's a big boost to a team, right? I'm loving what I'm seeing from them so far. Ultimately, I think this is their first big test of the split. The big question mark is how good are they really? It's been a long time, right, since they found themselves at the top of the table. So can they really challenge, much like Bulldawg said, for a top 3 finish? That's what I'm hoping to see.
That is what they're pretty much looking for, at least in this game in particular, up against Order. And it leads us to start to have a quick chat about that strength of schedule. Rusty, you were saying that Direwolves might have had an easier run up until this point, but now is when they start to get tested, right?
Yeah, Direwolves' next 4 games are Order, Chiefs, Pentanet.gg, and Peace, which on paper is 4 impossible games for them. So they're kind of, when you really think about it, Direwolves have started by beating everyone that is now below them, and their job is to try and stay at the top, right?
Yeah.
They've got 4 big games where a win is crucial against tough opponents where it is almost fleeting, right? So big games ahead for the side of Direwolves, where Order, you would say the opposite is true, a bit more cruisy.
And I feel like Direwolves, look, their success so far has been looking relatively thanks to Danteh. Skimmy said it before, Kitty, but you've just noticed how powerful he's been in that ADC role.
Everyone has always been like, oh, he's like Kai'Sa one trick. He's not going to do well in the current patch. But he has been doing the best out of the entire team. He's played the Jhin, the Ezreal, where it's not in his comfort zone. But I'm happy that he is willing to expand that champion pool and prove that everyone is wrong. So really respect to the young player.
Well, let's see if that works for him. But let's see who Order's going to be bringing into the fray. I dare say there's not going to be too many roster swaps coming through. There won't be. It's the 5 you'd expect to be here. And Rusty, tell me, what are they going to do today to show that they are the bigger team?
Well, Order are one of those teams that aren't afraid to show strategic diversity in draft phase. They do try things. They use the regular season as a platform to learn as much as possible. It resulted in them having to make a run last split, but they made the run. That's what matters. So they're a team that tries to time their peaks and their troughs accordingly, right? So to ask the question, what do you expect to see from Order to get a win this game? You never know. Right, it's a new patch. We've had 2 big patches back-to-back. It could be anything. But I have my sights set on something similar to what we saw from them in their last game here, where they were playing like the TF Wukong aggressive side lane priority type of compositions, allowing BioPanther to play carries more as well with the Jax into the Gwen. I think is a proven setup for success for them if they can continue this type of style.
That being said, we're now entering that tank meta again. We've seen Sej top 2 times.
We have, and he'll just pick Sejuani.
I might just pick Sejuani.
Tanks! I'm not happy about Sej being blind picked.
I've got a grumpy old man on the end of this couch.
You do.
Tell us how you really feel, Rusty.
I just think Sejuani blind is beatable.
That's it. Well,
That's how I feel.
It hasn't been so far.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, wait, no, it did.
It's one
Yeah,
more.
like it was fine.
Yeah, it did well.
Yeah.
It did well.
It went 1
It
and
did
6,
what
it
it
was
meant
fine.
to do. This game, though, it's a cracker. Rusty, you've killed us. We're all gone. We're all gone now. Now let's start to talk about. I want to talk about bot lane. I want to talk about these ADCs. Danteh's been having spectacular performances, but Puma's literally the accountable one, the one you can always put your money on for Order to come out on top, not give too many deaths over, and always just do his job so well. So, who are we expecting to come out in the lead, at least from the laning phase?
Oh, from the laning phase, I think there's for bot lane, you would expect that it is just order, but there's so much volatility in mid that bleeds over that, like, I think before we talk about bot lane, we have to talk about the fact that mid is almost a coin flip. Kisee likes to play hyper aggressive. Siuman's an assassin player.
Yeah.
Like, it could get absolutely crazy in mid, and we could have like a 3-0 laner 5 minutes in.
Yeah, those two have really high KP percentages.
Yeah.
They're incredibly aggressive, very keen to roam, very keen to try and assist elsewhere. And I think we were talking about it before, right? The fact that Siuman loves the Akali. Probably not a champion you can just blind pick into somebody like Kisee who says, look, I love assassins as well, bro. So like, if you're going to try and disrespect me like that, I've got one more trick up my sleeve.
Let's see if Goodo's got anything else up his sleeve. We saw a spicy interview from him the other day, but we've got another one to have a quick chat with the big man. Goodo, how you feeling going up against your old team?
Kind of exciting. Yeah, I'm just exciting, yeah.
We are all very excited because this is the match of the week, but I do want to get something straight. So during your player profile interview, you had a segment where you said that you described Dials from the previous split, which is your former team, with the word regret. So do you want to elaborate on why you described your previous team with regret?
The thing is, like, Lost has been like a lot of change compared to like Split 1, and I hope like my boys. I just miss my boys, which is like Kisee, Frost, Shinky, and like we are just good friends. I just say that because of them. I just hope they lose. And we just proved like our just member was like better. Yeah, pretty much that's it. But no disrespectful like other members. I just love them boys. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going up against your old coach in Poltron today. How do you think that's going to go for the jungle matchup? You've been watching his other games. Obviously, you've been playing relatively well in jungle for order as well. But do you think you can take down the master?
To be honest, like he been watching my Scream games and like the LCO games as well. So I think he has a benefit, obviously, because like he just usually just watch my path. But like according to solo queue, I'm just very like I don't know, just exciting to like versus Poltron. Yeah, but if I just lose, they'll be just champion mastery.
Very good.
Pretty much, yeah.
Can't wait to see how that one turns out. And finally, we do have quite a let's say small champion pool for jungle in the current meta, where it's mainly Wukong and Viego. So what are your takes on the current meta for jungle yourself?
I think that one you mentioned is just like that's it. Like Viego, Wukong. I think junglers on these days having just boring time. But like just it is what it is. It's just regular season, so I'm just fine. I'm just hoping that the new junglers came out for the on playoffs and I will just have fun on there. But it's still just regular season, just who cares, yeah.
I care. I just want to. I care about
We all
League of
care.
Legends.
We all
She cares as well. Hopefully
Mhm.
you care. But look, we're going to let you go. Get ready for the game, Goodo, and we'll talk to you afterwards, I guess, if you get that W.
Thank you.
Always good to chat with him. Look, not caring, not having that pressure on your shoulders, you play your best games. I'm just going to put that one out there.
It almost feels like it's
That
an
is
infection,
true.
right? Infiltrating top lane now into jungle. Like top lane's like, oh, our role does nothing. Jungler's like, oh, I just don't care. It's like, it's only 2 champions. And
The deterioration of League of Legends.
it's gonna get to
players
mid lane. It's like, oh, I
beginning.
just had to build Everfrost. It's so boring. Like,
Well, look, if you guys care about League of Legends, use your Twitch points and put them on their fan vote, because we want to know how you think this game's going to go. It is a very important one. It is essentially, on paper, it's a battle for third place right now. Direwolves, they want to show that they're very capable. They are aiming for that third place, at least in regulation. Maybe in playoffs, who knows? There's always that chance there. It's still only in the first round, and we know that it can change as, you know, the patches come through. We don't even know what 12-12 is yet, but that's coming at some point. Got another champ popping up at some point in the next bloody month or so too, so we'll see how that goes.
Ooh.
And here's our predictions. So we are actually split down the middle with this. Me and Rusty, we definitely, you know, we're always on the same page.
Yeah.
Big fans of Order. Just thinking that they've got what it takes today, yeah?
Yeah, was one of the only people that went for order through the entire playoffs run. Just throwing that one out there. Ready to back him here again today against literally the underdogs in Direwolves. Why are we justifying it? Why are
don't know.
Direwolves winning?
Yeah, why Dials win, Skimmy?
well, you got Kiwis on a team, and if I've learned anything,
I don't want to hear from you anymore. Kitty,
one of
why
a kind,
Dials winning?
those Kiwis.
I'm
Well-
Kiwi, they're Kiwi. Kitty's just been to Kiwi lands. Oh, it's just perfect. It's a perfect storm.
What was it over there? It was Rowdy?
Yes.
That's-
So
that's-
Direwolves is
and then-
getting Direwolves is getting absolutely rowdy up in here. We have Siuman and Danteh at the top of their game, and I think just overall, Direwolves are just in a better form compared to Order. They have had really rocky games, but to be fair, they have versed the harder teams and the more stronger teams. So we don't know, but speaking about performance, I think Danteh will be that difference.
Okay, well, let's see if that rings true because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Champ Select for the match of the week. I'm going to quickly run behind them and grab a dare to drink. But look, enjoy the game.
Yeah, let's enjoy this game. Let's see what actually happens between these two, right? A split vote here on the couch. We're both very excited to see.
Yeah, it's the first split vote we've had.
It actually is, yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
It's a good chance, right, on a brand new patch as well to say how much has really changed because we've certainly seen a lot of adaptations. The biggest ones, Sejuani first pick, Zeri in the ban.
Yeah, the Zeri permaban is definitely something we've been seeing a lot of today. That's 3 games in a row. Lucian going to be taken away with it in the center. So as you highlight, ADC is going to be taken across the board. The Lee Sin ban is an odd one.
They banned the Kindred as well towards Poltron. It's almost like the reverse Uno of paying the Evelyn tax.
That means that Wukong's just going to be free, right? Good first pick option here for the Direwolves. Based off what we've seen so far today, it's just going to be a Sejuani and an AD, but I'm glad that we're deviating very early on here. Wukong still. So right now, I think Direwolves very happy with this order. I think they're just going to comfortably take what is considered like the flip of jungle champions. The difference between the two is that Viego's not engaged in the way that Wukong is. So Wukong tends to just provide a little bit more. And I think the more reliant that you are on engage, so for example, let's just say like O's compared to the LCK, we're going to be more reliant on engage because we just want to have real avenues to punish mistakes. There's more mistakes, right? There's more opportunities. Engaged can be considered incredibly valuable, and Wukong tends to rise in priority, and I think that's been seen through win rate in this matchup. So Wukong is comprehensively in control. This is interesting, Skimmy. Ezreal picked, immediately Karma taken away by Direwolves. Makes you wonder what'll go with it.
Yeah, they've denied it straight away. This has been played a fair few times now by Bulldawg. This will be 3rd time played. Their opening game up against Peace, bear in mind, was this, Jhin and Karma. Dante's been quite keen to play this Jhin, right? Every single time we've had a chance to talk to him, he said, why? Why the preference towards this? Well, we as a team right now have been playing a lot of this poke-heavy style of gameplay. It gives me the range. It gives me the ability to be a factor.
Yeah, it gives them nice pick as well, right? Long range, long pick, safe pick, more importantly. Open the curtains and suddenly you're stuck running away. But Order, I think, have gone... I don't want to say the expected part. There's 2 games in a row that they've gone for this Twisted Fate. TF into bans, definitely something that could be considered valuable. You could get rid of the Silas if you think that's an issue. Siuman, however, as an Akali player, this almost denies that just by existing. You go into the Shroud as Akali, TF presses ult. What do you do in a team fight besides die? So really nice option here is like a nullifying pick, and you know Kisee can play it. Order pretty content so far. And I do think that realistically, Ezreal doesn't have to have Karma. I think Karma is the best duo. We've seen Ezreal with Renata, right? You know that Ezreal can go with a Nautilus or a Bard, right? There's still plenty of choices there.
Choices for Order, though. What did they ban? They banned away the Silas. It was a toss-up in my mind between that or the Ahri, which we know that Siuman is also very, very proficient at. But the Silas makes sense for a lot of the reasons you mentioned before, primarily stealing away the Destiny. Make sure that Direwolves can match you for those cross-map plays. They ban away the Nautilus. Will they decide to go for another support pairing towards this Ezreal to try and give their bot lane that key advantage?
It makes you wonder if it's going to be like an Ahri or a Syndra from Siuman, right?
Ezreal Yuumi, okay, it's an old school one.
Yeah, Ezreal Yuumi, I like that. And so, Order, I don't think have to have engage here from their support. They could go Ezreal Leona and go really hyphy, right? TF play for bot focus, but it depends on what type of top lane matchup they want. So if Bio goes for a tank here, like the Sejuani, Viego can work together. And so it may not be a full tank support, right? So I think one of these two could be engaged. There you go. Silas ban, Alistar pick. That's a really nice move by Order because it's the double up ban in terms of effectiveness.
And I would like, if they actually do leave it like this, to give the option, or the opportunity rather, to BioPanther to play that Bruiser like he did before with the Jack, so we can play aggressive, be backed up by the Twisted Fate, and say that, Zorenous, I will challenge you. I will take you on at any opportunity that you give me. There is the Arias we imagine would be coming out there in the mid lane, and the Sejuani this time, not first pick, but last. Similarly, going to be the choice to round them out in that top lane.
Yeah, it gives them a tank, gives them a double engage on the top side of the map. Now that Order see the Sejuani, they can do whatever they would like. and we'll see where BioPanther chooses to go. Because he can play carry champions. I mean, it's a common misconception that BioPanther is just a weak side Titan tank player, because that's all we really saw from him for a long time. But it's good to see him coming back with these carry champions. Played Jax last week, into the Camille today. Was Tryndamere in the first split as well. Has got these bruisers ready to go. Sees the Sejuani top lane and says, I will be the Camille. I will be able to carry through this one. Sejuani's stun can get buffered by a hook shot as far as I know as well. You can still pull yourself to safety. Very curious as to how the matchup goes, however. I do think Camille can match with Ignite Teleport. So that might be an added factor as to why you choose this matchup.
This could be a flashless top lane, ultimately. A lot of true damage that can come out later on into the game, but a bit of a squishier team overall. Big pressure then, no doubt, then onto Corporal, right, to try and be the leading engager to ensure that if it's a TF Gold card or a Viego follow-up, a hook shot there as well, that Puma has the uptime to land those skill shots and kill confirm across the board. Direwolves with plenty of engage of their own and plenty of range and mobility to guarantee it.
Certainly true. There is going to be a lot of mobility here. Direwolves dangerous with Fog of War is definitely a really important note. Lots of good pick that can come out from Wukong, Ahri, followed through by the Jhin. Karma going to be speeding up that Wukong, no doubt, as they get into skirmishes. Double melee topside. And I do like the makings of Direwolves' composition. I think it gives them a lot of options. I would say their scaling isn't crazy good by any means. That's definitely something that Order have going for them as not a distinct advantage, but definitely an advantage. You know, Camille, Viego, Ezreal scale up really nicely. Twisted Fate not seen as a damage dealer, but, you know, 5-6 items, I guess it does do a lot of damage. But it's Direwolves who I think have the priority on engaging. I think the burden of execution belongs with them primarily, where the early game can be more flexible from Order. I think flexibility is key here with their composition. Alistar can have insane angles. Twisted Fate can find them as well, and so can a Camille.
Absolutely, and that's the key factor for me that I'm looking at from this Order lineup, right, is if you make one wrong move or you make that overextension without a lack of vision, right, if the wards are there and you are in the wrong spot, it's going to be a very, very tough ask to try and run away from them. They can certainly snowball quite easily from that as well. And it's a great chance to see what an S looks like. You've been begging for it for such a long time. The Silas has to be banned away. It's been an age-old classic. If you lock that one in, you don't want that Indomitable Will to be taken as well. And obviously a fair bit of CC for him to shrug off too if they do need to face check the likes of a Sej or an Ahri.
This is, like, I literally said this in game one, right? Is if they first pick a Sejuani, you can go the Alistar and actually soak through the engage if that's their only engage source. But I guess for the Direwolves side, in their defense, they've got lots of pick angles and options that exist for them. So more than just top lane to be a point of focus.
Well, here we go then, loading into the game for our third one of the night, the one that we have classified as match of the week. Both of these teams in hot form so far. And really, the question is this the battle for third place? That is the question we'll be asking Coach Series as he joins us on the line here today.
Hey, Skimmy, what's up?
Very well, myself. Well, how about you? I mean, that is the question, right? We've been hyping this one up as that battle for third place. Do you think that's a fair representation?
Nah, not at all. I mean, I think that, first of all, that's underrating Peace. Like I said, I think that they're still ramping and, like, they'll take their time, but once they figure things out, they have a really strong roster. I don't think that, you know, we're necessarily a third place team, even if, no matter where we finish in the regular season, right? So yeah, I wouldn't say that at all. I don't think that Direwolves will be able to play with the top 4 teams, regardless of how they do in the regular season. But it will definitely be interesting to see.
Certainly will be. We have seen obviously what can happen over the course of a very long season leading to playoffs. You've shown us already from the MSI run as well. But what has changed really for you guys here coming into a brand new patch? We know you love to experiment. This comp has, you know, a ton of engage angles. That's what Rusty mentioned as well. So have you looked at this and said the meta has had a massive shakeup, or is it really just us looking at Sejuani?
Well, the meta has obviously been shaken up to a large degree, especially with the prevalence of 80 carries. Like you saw, you know, we have to ban out a bunch of 80 carries. There's a lot of really, really powerful first picks in that regard. Sejuani has become a flavor of the month. I don't particularly think it's as good as teams are valuing it right now. It's very good situationally, but it's become like an all-purpose pick. So overall, I don't think the meta has shifted too much, realistically. The champions that are good last patch are still good to some degree, and then if you get rid of the influx of the new ADs that really smash them. So like Zeri, for example, then
Yeah.
you end up with a very stable game.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all not too eager to see what Zeri can do again. One of those champions that certainly looks ever so broken. Well, I'm going to leave it at that there, Series. I wish you boys the best luck. Always a pleasure catching up with you.
Cheers, mate.
Really dicey skirmishes bot lane during that coach interview as well. I was kind of holding my breath the entire time. Level 2 from Order and Puma, if they from Puma and Corporal, if they managed to get that first. Could have been serious kill threat onto Danteh and Bulldawg. There's been a lot of ankle breaking dukes down there. But it seems like it's just going to fizzle back into laning as per usual. Really risky as an aside, and I feel like as an Alistar player saying this, starting headbutt into a Karma Jhin, you don't have any kind of actual disengage ability, or rather engage ability with a flash pulverize. So having the headbutt and using it before Karma uses an ability is actually asking to copper Mantra Q and get zoned off the wave at level 1. But it turns out Puma's good enough to just straight up dodge it, it doesn't matter. And speaking of Ezreal, second game that we've seen in Ezreal, straight up with the teleport.
Certainly is. Has rushed a tier start, actually, so just wants to be on the board as quickly as possible, getting that cheap item spike that we know in Ezreal loves to achieve. Yeah, it does beg the question why that is the return. We've certainly seen it in years gone by have its chance in the sun, but with the amount of CC that a lot of these comps are built to do,
How zoned they are, Skimmy.
it's a bit of a concern. Doesn't really matter for him right now because Corporal is allowed with all that vision control just to stand in that tri-bush and say, solo experience for the Ezreal. And what can you do?
Yeah, it wasn't so much that Alistar was missing either, it's that Kisee and Goodo moved together. They got priority in mid, they walked towards bot side river, and so Direwolves, they just play incredibly passively suddenly of necessity, just because Order go missing. Vision going to be placed at the Raptor camp. You can see, of course, Poltron going to go towards the Krugs, take away that camp. Is the last remaining one on Order's side of the map. Other than that, it is the Wolf camp and the soon-to-be spawning Krug 2 towards the bot side of the map, if that's where Goodo is pathing. But right now, just pretty casual farming, I think it is fair to say. Bot was dicey, but it's been managed really nicely just by priority. And to no one's surprise, the Sejuani lane is the place that the jungler tries to path the wall.
Certainly is. Two auto attackers making life very easy. Zorenous needed only one more attack to guarantee that stun, but Bio in a pretty comfortable spot. Would not really be under any real risk of dying in that situation, but returning to the previous point, look at the amount of vision in that bot river. I mean, no wonder Danteh and Bulldawg can't step up.
No, can we go back top? That was so exciting. BioPanther was having mental, like this cannon. If he lost that cat, there was a whole wave that came. If he missed that cat, he would have been devastated. He's going to sacrifice minions for it. That's what I was so absorbed in that minigame. You were talking about vision. I was like, but is he going to get it?
Yeah, I'm going to let you finish, but take me back top.
But like, geez, that cannon, if he misses it, I'd be sad.
Here we go, Corporal. I like what I'm seeing here. Three-man collapse. This could be nice if the angle's good here.
The card was just wasted. Viego's left.
Yeah, you'd be essentially looking like a bit of a Lee Sin there, but
why not make the play?
Try it anyway.
The risk is that Siuman is just incredibly good and somehow sees it coming and can charm you mid-headbutt. But it's very unlikely. The risk also is that you flash the wall, you headbutt, and then you can't actually hit the pulverize. You'd have to do a full combo, otherwise you get charmed under the turret afterwards. But if you had Kisee and Viego nearby, I think it was worth the attempt. Just going to fizzle though. They're not going to do anything too risky. Nothing needless to be seen. But I mean, that's a good look in on what is possible from an Alistar in a game of League and why he's one of the most fun support champions. And I feel like that is just true to play. Because you can be aggressive, you can engage, you have a combo, and you also have the creativity of halving those abilities if you have walls and terrain to work with. It's all about angles. That's why Alistar is super fun.
Certainly is. Another champion that also loves the Hex Flash. Can find a lot of value out of that rune choice as well. All that bottom river control is certainly now being rewarded as Order will have free reign to claim the very first Drake of the game. Poltron with that information is going to run it back straight towards top Krugs again and look to steal them away.
Should get 6 off this Krug camp also. It's very unlikely that he would make an attempt to dive top lane, especially with BioPanther, who was full health. He's also now going to get that teleport off. Kisee disappearing for a roam. We'll get spotted by that control, what it feels like, very briefly, and I feel like Kisee is pathing just to prevent a dive more than anything else. Maybe have a look at the Raptor camp, see if anyone's nearby, but You can tell because he's just doing a very polite circle around the Raptor camp. That the most important thing is that he goes missing. Corporal's in.
Oh, that's a two-man pulverize. That is fantastic. Can he find the auto attack stun afterwards? He can. And Dante's down to half. Deadly flourish misses, but he's got the shield. And the full shot connects as potions are chugging. They find themselves both evenly chunked.
Still a nice little play from Corporal and definitely permission to go again. Flash combo with Ignite there does mean that an Ezreal can even react to your timing with the ultimate, make sure they get as much damage out as possible. You wait with bated breath to see exactly what's going to happen with this Alistar. Ezreal, as now the wave gets reset back to even, a little bit more afraid is the side of Direwolves. But they have the Wukong hovering, and they know that.
Kisee missing off the map right now, and Siuman going to be in his lane on his own. Goodo going to be poking his head into top lane right now as Bio scouts out for vision. Plants his own ward, and Goodo's going to clear things out as well. He's going to find one here where that Scuttle Crab would spawn, but ultimately has his eyes set on this Herald. And Corporal making the long journey mid again, off on another roam to find another potential kill.
Straight into the Herald and actually uses the Shroud. I think that draws all of the attention of the Direwolves up towards it because you can see that. So Siuman leaves mid, walks straight up towards the Herald. Bot lane of Direwolves is here. Kisee.
Oh, that's a fantastic deadly flourish. The charm, I think, just missed because of the minion wave. But he flashes forward, does Danteh. Fourth and final shot, gets it done. That's first blood.
Charm just barely missing on Goodo also for the potential of a second kill follow-up. 2 charges were there for the Ahri. Confusing play from the Twisted Fate. To be frank, just steps up to the wave with a blue card ready. No idea where Direwolves were. Puma pushing bot lane. And so it does mean that the Herald is going to be started here. Most likely completed. It's an ultless Ahri, so there's no kill threat onto Puma, but he's going to stop the follow-up of more plates.
That's why it was so confusing. Puma had already crashed that wave. He was working his way up to group up with the rest of his team. Zorenous going to chuck out that Glacial Prison, not going to find it. In goes the headbutt pole combo. Looking to try and lock in place Poltron, who does secure that Herald. As do they take down Goodo. The Master defeats the Apprentice. Old teammate. And same old story here. It's a double kill. The Sejuani's pretty big.
I mean, it's amazing that Corporal got out there at all with his life intact. That's how far they chased for just the Twisted Fate. That was a dieback. I mean, Kisee straight up respawns, ults into the pit where they're fighting again, and just dies. This is a Viego without ultimate and an Alistar that is level 5. This is also a Camille that is hookshot away from Zorenous. This is never a play. That's just never a play. But they still go for it and try as they might to make something happen. They don't get the Herald. This is not going to be 3 games in a row where that first Herald is Smite stolen away. Puma doesn't get 5 plates for it. It's 1 plate bot lane. Siuman stops the rest of it. That's really rough from Order.
And it already stemmed from that one Mind Lapse in the mid lane there. Looking to try and trim that wave. The work had already been done by Order. They were in such a proactive spot, to say the least. But it's certainly given Direwolves an opportunity to answer back and find themselves in a perfect position now, up 1,000 gold, with a Herald to only break that lead that much further, and a bounty on a tank Sejuani.
Almost a comedy of errors as well, right? Like, how does the play started is Kisee dying in mid lane, getting hit by a Jhin W because he got auto-attacked by a Jhin. It finishes with a Twisted Fate dying at the Herald for a play that was made because of that first kill, right? So just kind of continues along that path. Order will be able to stabilize at this point, right? But they're going to have to stabilize with a Herald in hand and 1,000 gold down. Not feeling too good about themselves after that one.
Looking to try and find that Destiny with some value to target these lanes to try and bridge that gap and make sure that these engage options, these pick potentials, don't get too out of control too early on here for the Direwolves. Scuttle Crab will be achieved, so they'll have full vision and know that 4 members of Direwolves are here. Big mythic item spikes already across the board. 3 members. Top half of the map here for Direwolves have that. Order showing full respect, not showing any contest whatsoever.
Yeah, just no chance they contest that one whatsoever. Nice little tank there by Corporal to make sure that it is not Puma that gets locked down. However, Puma has used his E And Siuman is threatening the dive, and they know this.
Oh, that's a beautiful curtain call. 1, 2. Instantly cleansing out that charm is the Alistar. Deadly Flourish locks him in. There's the Cyclone. There's the Everfrost. And that is a thing of beauty.
I mean, they have the item advantage. They have the positioning advantage here as well. And they'll get 2 kills. They'll have the Herald in hand to summon. And they'll be able to get a bunch more plates from this. Just incredibly well done by Direwolves. It feels like so far, they have such a good measure of the map and the plays that they want to make, and they just execute on it incredibly smartly.
So much patience to try and force that one out, but ultimately they grouped up as a force and have taken it down. And yes, I'm scratching my eyes. The most fed member in this game is the Sejuani. A crazy thing to see. But it's not going to stop Corporal. Tier 2 boots are there. He's on a mission once again. Question is, can they lock down this Sejuani who can just dash away as Bio tries to tease him with a hook shot parkour?
Bit of a question mark goes onto the header Corporal there from Direwolves pings. 2 of them, in fact. As the Alistar Hex flashes and reveals himself, doesn't stay hidden on the map. And so there's no chance that you should be able to make a play mid lane. And as you can tell, Corporal just going to walk on through.
He's sacrificing XP, is meaning that Puma's ahead in levels as a result. Probably one of the best champions for it.
But Alistar also wants that level 11, right? Level 6 is good. You can sit at the 6 spike for a while and feel like you're more valuable. But you don't want to get too far away from level 11. Increase that damage reduction and be a true tank with no items.
Especially given he's gone for the Glacial Augment as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Does feel like this turret will drop soon if Direwolves bring more focus, more attention to that one. Siuman's ultimate is a big point they're going to wait for. Blue buff also a pretty big factor for that one for Direwolves. No cleanse for mid lane, so anytime the Sejuani gets to roam, does feel like there's going to be lots of opportunities near mid. The Wukong and a Sejuani pretty free to be aggressive on the map right now. This feels like a Twisted Fate ult's about to come in if they overcommit to the turret, but I think that's been immediately fizzled by Poltron showing.
Oh, do they catch out Siuman here?
Shows the blue card. There's such a clear bait as well. Order struggling. This is... Ooh.
But this is an opportunity, isn't it? Glacial Prison locks him in place as the Hextech Ultimatum tried to get a bit of uptime, and even with that Divine Sunder finding those Sheen resets, it still wasn't enough to take down this tanky target. There is the Destiny into the Everfoster, guaranteed that the stun connects from the Viego. I don't believe it did, but the ultimate will certainly claim the soul. It's a big shutdown, one that Goodo certainly needed to get himself in the game, but the response from the Direwolves, they're coming on in. There's the TP, the retreat from Bio, who wants nothing about it. Siuman saying, which one's getting locked in place? It's your time to die. You've hit the ult. You can't cleanse it all. You've cleansed one. But he would now charge you a second time, and it's Poltron that gets his second kill.
And a wise decision from Order to say that it is just Corporal that's going to go down. Press the ultimate. Buy as much time as you possibly can. Puma is already pushing bottom. They don't try and make 2 plays at once. That was a nice teleport by Siuman, though, to basically ensure that something has to give here, as they can go straight from that pick towards the Rift Herald. Now 6-1 up in terms of kills. They will still lose some turrets. They are still giving gold into the hands of Order. This is not an over game by any means. But this is a really good stating of your case if you're Direwolves. Your early game is of a caliber that can contest the best.
Certainly is. And the timing is fantastic. As you mentioned, the TP to guarantee at least something, resulting in another Crab, another Herald, another opportunity to exert pressure on the map. Certainly looking at us getting that second turret down nice and early, but now 2v2 may just break out. As Viego goes in, the Hextech Ultimatum, it's looking to try and find its target. Siuman goes gold and looks to try and hit that all, but cannot find it. Corporal might have the biggest pole, but only lands it onto one. As they don't find the kill thereafter, he's just so squishy. So once the combo's gone, he is dead as well. And now the rest of the Direwolves flooding in with reinforcements. And Siuman with the flash charm! Oh, and a Deadly Flourish missing. Kisee literally running through Army Boot Camp, but managed to miss every single trap.
Danteh was so confident that W was hitting that he opened the curtains before it connected. He was so ready for that kill to happen. Just supreme confidence from the Direwolves as they run it down top lane. They'll get the picks. Order will oblige and make sure they get some follow-up picks as well. They'll summon the Herald, they'll get an inner turret, and then they transition all the way to the Drake. Now, Direwolves, I will say after this, probably want to disengage real quick so they don't run the risk of dying. Because Order are hot to trot.
One of the beauties of this new Wukong that you can just dash across that wide and not feel like you'd be a victim to this destiny that's being posed right now on the map. Direwolves may just be free to go back to base and spend their money. Here's the Hexsec. Take a little flash across the wall. Chan trying to predict the movement. Siuman feeling very comfortable.
I mean, we'll watch it again. Tower's already gone. Ult comes in. They look for Siuman. Great stopwatch denies. The teleport comes in. Perfect positioning on that teleport. BioPanther has to disengage. Goodo's just dead. And then we try and flash in from Corporal to save the day, but the play was already gone. The reality is this play happened after the turret had dropped. There was no defense to be seen. And so they mistime it, and it goes from bad to worse, and they suffer incredibly hard as a result of that.
Well, I hate to be the one that talks about stat-based analysis, but we did hear from Kitty earlier on. What was the stat? It was like 0-3 with the Wukong into the Viego. Well, it's looking like an 0-4 right now. Not going to speak too soon, though. 18 minutes in, and there is a gold lead to talk about, surely, but Direwolves have 2 Drakes to their name. An Infernal Soul to play for, but it won't be an early one.
I mean, things to note here is that Puma does have 2 completed items with the Muramana.
Yeah.
So it will be pretty dangerous. Oh, okay.
Bio could be in trouble right now. Siuman really holding on to try and hit the fancy feet. The Everfrost goes out. That's moved about. Oh, the knock-up as well. Glacial Prison not going to connect, but it just puts so much CC into him that it doesn't matter what you do. Kisee comes through with the gold card and says, will that be enough? Great little dash with the clone away. Zorenous zoning off to the side. Goodo trying to get the kill into Danteh. Deadly flourish. This time the curtain's open, and this time the curtains just miss. Oh, so close.
Puma.
And a True Shot Barrage as well. Both these 80 carries with their ultimates.
Just scrapes on by them. Puma did get the kill, however, onto Zorenous. That is his 2nd death of the game for this Sejuani. It's his 2nd kill of the game for Order. And that's money in the right place. That is money into the right pockets. And that really does just come down to being a 1-for-1 trade where there's been so much room, so much space for more kills, but just barely scraping away. Bio played that perfectly, by the way, that gank that went onto him. You can't ask for more except to not be there. Like, he did so well.
He certainly did do all he could as he waited for Kisee to come on through and turn things around and look to answer back. 20 minutes in. A slim gold lead. Still Direwolves, no doubt, feeling pretty confident about their chances in this one.
I mean, 4 became 3, right? From that little passage of play. Order are a good enough team that as you start to hit mid to late game, they should be able to control lanes. The one thing that I did mention is that Puma doesn't have cleanse. I think that's actually a big risk as the game progresses. But if Corporal's able to stand in front, able to soak up and tank, you've got options. It's just higher risk, right? What does the teleport provide over a cleanse when you're fighting? Nothing, obviously. The teleport helps him stay in lanes, get extra farm, is 40 CS ahead, right? Has got cheaper items. Is a strong carry for the team. Not to say that Danteh is by any means a slouch right now. Close to finishing Rapid Fire Cannon is going to do a lot of work for his squad.
Oh, Destiny's on. This is the true mirror of this ultimate. There they go. They find their pick thereafter. And it's Puma again that gets the kill. That's fantastic. So this fed Ezreal in terms of CS is now fed with kills too.
Was able to pull the minion wave here also to stop Direwolves from having any kind of transaction. This is the threat that a Twisted Fate provides. Zorenous is going to split push, yes. He's going to look towards a turret, but after that Demolish proc does no damage. Is more reliant on minions putting in work. And Order will look for a trade on the top side of the map. You've got BioPanther here. Both teams hovering each other.
They're going to really try and force this agenda.
What are you
Corporal
doing?
just jumps in with a 2-man pulverize and says, look at this, the Sejuani passive is there. The ultimate has to be burnt to get out of that CC. They fling it out and they crash it down. Jhin won't secure it, but Poltron will. Still a flawless KDA for him. And we're just playing to opposite sides of the map right now.
Yeah, Kisee going to continue to push, but Brother Corporal did not want to go silently into the night there. That turret, he wanted to defend at all costs, and BioPanther had wanted none of it. But he ends up suffering a death at the hands of that decision. That was a weird one. That was a very weird one. Anyway, in Puma, usually we trust if you're an Order fan.
Absolutely.
Direwolves, the whole team still firing. Lots of positives here.
Winter is complete. That's that second item spike. Frozen Heart may not be too far away now. And that's when things look really, really good for the Sejuani. Death Dance there, obviously, for Poltron, so he is going to be an absolute menace to try and take on down.
Baron
But
here, Skimmy.
the double rapid fire cannon really giving you the range for those engaged, for those kills on either end.
This
Dragon
is
being
actually,
picked up, Baron is there.
this is risky because it's not going to be very fast. They don't have the most damage. It is a Jhin with a rapid fire cannon second. Keep that in mind. Order, we're too quick on the Drake. Dio was a little bit too slow on the uptake on the macro that they wanted here, so it does feel like this will just be contested. But Order are really hesitant here. They're not sure it's being committed to or not yet. TF Ult confirms it.
Really does. Bishop Barrage goes across, looking for the engage. They fan it on towards Goodo. Corporal jumps in. He's going to knock himself up, but he's just so squishy. Only level 9. The Baron's going to regen. Zorenous has already done his job. He just has to go back to base, and he's a happy chappy. Siuman, with the Spirit Rush resets, has found all he needs, and the bait-in has been successful.
Certainly has been. Oh, Everfrost.
Oh, he's caught him! In the shadows he goes, but he just does not miss. And that really shouldn't have been another kill, but Siuman just smurfing.
But can they commit to the Baron? I feel like the answer is much more confident this time. Ezreal TF can harass, can poke, but Zorenous is very tanky. Order are the type of team that will try and contest this at least a small amount. Kisee has Flash and Smite. Note that he has Smite from Unsealed Spellbook.
This will be the most crazy set of
No,
circumstances.
don't flash into the wall.
Flash. No,
No, not like this. No.
We've just walked away from the monitor.
We're gone.
Nobody
I'm already
saw
walking
that.
home.
Nobody saw that. Oh my gosh. Poor Kisee.
Oh, I gave him so much hype.
It was so set up for him. But he just happened to hit the wrong key binding on that occasion, and that is a pure tragedy.
Sometimes you just get gapped by your mouse. Dials, they'll secure the Baron. A very good series of picks. Again, Dials, I feel like if we were to really put them into a basket, it'd be a pick comp team right now. That's really their identity. And I feel like they've cemented that identity. They've solidified that identity. And now what's left is to really just perfect it. But here comes Order.
Oh, great flash. This one's on. This time Dante's in a lot of trouble. He has no protection. That shield from Comet does nothing. And that's a great little rotation from them. The charm is down to Corporal, but no follow-up damage afterwards. And that's at least one Baron buff removed.
Puma still well and truly dealing damage. Never disrespect the Ezreal at this stage. 3 items done. The rest of the map still struggling, right? It is going to be a bunch of support members for Puma at this point. Corporal close to level 11. BioPanther still definitely dealing damage, but doesn't have 2 items done yet. It's starting to lag behind.
Really wants that Ravenous Hydra, wants that sustain, wants that clear, wants the ability to be a true menace to try and lock somebody down. But as you said, Ezreal, blue build, can really harass you. And we saw what a few of those Mystic shots did to the Ahri before.
And this is kind of like the Violet Cogmore effect. In reality, it's an Ezreal, right? So it's much more skill shot based, but long range damage, 70 CS ahead. After this wave, should still be about 70 CS ahead. You can't ask for much more if you're Order in terms of a win condition, given what's been happening everywhere around the map right now. He's given you an out. Direwolves, I don't want to understate what we've been seeing from them while we're trying to instill some kind of hope into the Order camp. It is still a 5,000 gold lead. They don't have much Baron left, however. That pick from Order's kind of diffused that one almost outright. But this mid lane outer turret should fall at the least. That opens up the map for them so much. And they're still going.
Certainly are still going. They're going to push until this one can no longer go forward. They feel strong. They feel tanky. Top and jungle. Very hard to try and take on down now. More Memorius is there. That's a 2-man pole. Instant ulti from the Alistar. And there's no full shot to cement it. Big shields now starting to come out from this Karma as well.
Does the TF ult to buy them time? He does.
He split them apart. Direwolves is a 3-2. He's going to jump into one and just turn around and look to just kill Kisee. Kisee tried to do it all. He couldn't even hit the stopwatch, Rusty. It's a tragedy. Everfrost a sidestep, but the Alistar is squishy. The turret is gone because Bio is trying to split, push an inhibitor. But I think Direwolves look to do the same in the mid instead.
Yeah, they've got permission to just push a lot harder here in mid lane. Poltron just going to reckless abandon push forwards. Puma's not going to be able to do enough damage to him to stop this one from happening. It is just going to be the inhibitor. Order may try and stop bases, but Zorenous is already there with teleport ready. So it's not going to be an inhibitor transaction at all. In fact, they've got a Drake to disengage towards here. You can't ask for much more if you're Direwolves. You've been given on a silver platter so many opportunities. All you have to do is capitalize, and they are.
If anything, that really has been the theme of the game, right, for Direwolves. Every single time they've gone for a TP topside into a Herald, a fight to go for the inhibitor into a Drake, a potential now Infernal Soul with 3 stacked up, would surely give them the damage to continue to take these members down. Poltron is the most fed member in the game, 6-0-7. The coach for Goodo in that position last split. And he's giving him a bit of a spanking.
Yeah, he's certainly putting in some work. The old coach hands sometimes can be quite good. Every coach out there in League of Legends feeling a little bit vindicated here. Of course, it has happened many times in the past in League of Legends. Players retire or they'll be a coach because they think they can add value to the role and you get the itch to be a player, or you're just forced to play the role. Right, we've seen it numerous times where coaches ended up having to play starting positions, even at internationals because of visa stuff. You know, things like that happened all the time. Coaches still have the itch to play.
I don't think it ever really goes away.
Fortunately.
Never falter.
Anytime I coach someone, I immediately want to play.
Well, here we go. Direwolves poised and ready to shove in another wave. Bio doing whatever he can to keep his team split in a 4-1 affair so he can try and really fall Zorenous back and burn that TP. That mid inhibitor back up in 3 minutes. The Baron itself spawning in 40 seconds. This one's an important one. Destiny goes out, but Direwolves are grouped together and Kisee decides against it.
Yeah, they see the Sejuani split from the team, but the teleport was there and vision was definitely belonging to Direwolves. That TF just to see if they could find something. A lot of this game is just going to come down to, can Puma kill anyone? Because they're so tanky. You know, he has to hit almost every skill shot, play perfect League of Legends into all of the armor stacking that you're starting to see now, the Death's Dance, the Frozen Heart being completed. Can you actually kill anyone? Or will Direwolves just run you down with their team fighting ability? Because they have a lot of that.
Certainly do. We've seen it already. Itemization proving to be a real issue right now. 2 stopwatches top in jungle. Zonia's complete in the mid lane. Crucible there for Karma. Bulldawg will ensure that if Danteh is the focus, he's got a Crucible, he's got a Cleanse, he's got a Flash. It's going to be an absolute mission to get to him, let alone lock him down.
100% very difficult to make those picks happen now. Too many cleanses. Baron going to be hit. Order have an idea that it could be getting started, but Ezreal's in base. Teleported have to come out here. Already at half health.
Getting close. Goodo does have the flash. Zorenous jumping across the wall to burn that blast cone. The damage, the poke from afar. You've seen Puma do whatever he can with that Mystic shot. Bio holding the hook shot, jumps into the pit. He's looking for the kill. He's looking for the target. True shot blast. Corporal goes in. No! They cannot steal the Baron. They go golden. They resurrect. But the Baron buff, is that enough for Direwolves to try and win out this fight? Order are doing it. They found 2 so far. Ahri's found the kill. But Ezreal's still getting rowdy. Ezreal's found a double. Ezreal's getting it done. They found an ace.
And as a result, they stay in the game. They stop the Baron completely, but they have to recall to deal with minions in their base. Or you'd expect turrets will start to drop. BioPanther, he's going to teleport bottom to try and get an inner turret for their troubles. No mana left on the man means that he can barely even use his Q ability to break this turret, but he'll do his best. This is Puma untouched. This is Order committing to the play and Direwolves being forced to stay in the pit because the fight becomes about the Baron buff. Corporal's combo somehow got cancelled there as well. I didn't see, I think it was a Wukong ult. And he did nothing, but Puma finds his moment to dash forwards, to E forwards. Flashes away from Siuman, but the damage was done. Right, the first kills happened. BioPanther starts to zone them away, and it's a Viego composition. You can't give him those resets.
Certainly cannot. And all those stopwatches, all those summoners did not offer them the insurance, the buffer of success that they needed to flaunt their wealth. They had a gold lead. They had a Baron buff worth of stats. And still Order were able to show the late game composure to target select and to get a very clean ace. It was a 1-for-5 trade. I mean,
that was huge.
It's phenomenal.
We've got a 700 gold shutdown on Puma right now. BioPanther finds himself with a shutdown. He's been farming. That is one thing Order have been doing, and that is consistently farming. Oh!
Goodo. He's trying to do whatever he can as Poltron jumps in with
Puma's
a
zoned
knock
away.
up. They're getting a Cyclone knock up. The deadly flourish is there. Zorenous is looking for the kill, but he's already committed the ultimate. The Destiny is there to make sure that Order can run away. And that's the pre-engage before the potential soul point that Order want to deny, but Direwolves want to claim.
That's 5 ultimates gone, though, from Direwolves. Order currently with priority of the river. The Scuttle Crab does go the way of Direwolves, so they'll have that in their advantage. Smite not there for Poltron for a couple of seconds. He wants to just keep it busy, buy some time. You can see Direwolves barely hitting it till now. And it looks like they're comfortable taking the flip.
Poltron's going to jump in once again, looking for it, and they've got it! That was close. Danteh secured it. Zorenous running away. Bio jumps in 1v4 and tries to lock down Jhin and smashes him with the Q2 charge. It's a shutdown with retribution for Poltron as he dashes, flashes, smites and heals. And we're lucky we didn't see more casualties, but Direwolves have Infernal Soul.
Just the smallest of margins, Poltron's able to survive. The flash, the smite, the shield from Bulldawg. Super clutch, but it is still a losing fight. But it is an Infernal Soul. There is still some legs in this game, Skimmy. We go back to a 4k gold deficit. The Infernal Soul kind of increases that by an unknown exact gold value, but it is valuable here with a Jhin, with an Ahri. We'll watch this one more time because these are 2 back-to-back flips. One by Direwolves, but it was an auto attack by Danteh above all else, and then it is full disengage. The BioPanther comes up real large with the auto attacks there, gets the Q off, and it's just run away if you were Direwolves. They took the burger flip, and then they just sprint away as fast as possible.
And now you start to get a little bit concerned because yes, Direwolves have shown some strength in these team fights, but Order are silently achieving in these side lanes. They've got the Twisted Fate for it. They've got the Camille for it. They've been channeling their best into top and bot to try and open and expose some inhibitors of their own that Zorenous has to answer back to. But not only that, Rusty, they're actually starting to really answer back in some of these team fights too.
We're also starting to near a point in the game where control wards are almost impossible to purchase just by itemization. So there's been a couple of greedy goblins here on the side of Order. Orange Shield's still there. Nullifying and Ruby Crystal for Order, for Goodo. Not having the control ward slots into a composition that wants to pick you makes it really difficult to execute or even leave your base. So perhaps not feeling as safe as they otherwise could have been. There's some gaps in the armor, 100% still being poked at. But we are at a point with 3 items on a Camille, right? Guardian Angel about a minute away. If there was anything they wanted to wait for, it would be that. That coincides quite nicely with the Baron buff. Split push threat is certainly a possibility from the Camille, but realistically we'll be resetting to bot lane right now if that is where he's going to go. Need to reset that wave first and foremost. There's also a really nice flanking ward behind Order right now that hasn't been spotted, with the potential of Zorenous or Siuman getting behind them. Again, a lack of control wards makes it hard to clear them.
And a constant fear from the Direwolves to be split apart by the fact that Destiny every single time is looking for that one key isolated member. Shirelli is burnt as they hug and hold hands as a 5-man squad and say, where are these members? Because we want to try and take that mid inhibitor one more time. We want to try and put ourselves in a good spot to claim that Baron in 45 seconds, but we can't expose ourselves on the flanks for Camille just to get that even trade.
And so Camille showing bot lane gives permission for Direwolves right now, as you're seeing, to be hyper aggressive. See if you can get an auto attack off from the Jhin, right? Follow that up with the W. Lock someone down, make the picks, force the teleport from BioPanther. If you can't do that, you've got Baron in 20 seconds. One more wave in mid is really what you're after. Straight into the Baron pressure.
They're going to half force the fight. They really do. They want to make sure that Camille comes in right now. They go straight onto Puma. He goes golden, buys time. Corporal flashes in to protect him, but Puma gets the kill. Puma takes out Siuman, and he did not expect that. Bio jumps in, locks down the Sejuani. 4 items, but gets absolutely teared apart. Puma is now godlike. They hand it over to him, and he's now 7-1.
Direwolves try and make the pick, but they go so far into enemy territory that it almost defies belief. And they'll be able to just casually, very well done by Order. Of course, the reinforcements for Puma. Mr. President will be protected at all costs. There's a bunch of men in black suits. Why am I going here? Baron's going to be started. It should just be theirs.
Corporal really played his heart out there to say, protect this Ezreal. And he just turned around and absolutely destroyed them. They're not done yet. They picked up the Baron, a disengaged clone ultimate. Just so Poltron's not another casualty. Oh, it's getting close.
We'll see this one more time. Puma dashes away, now has to dodge out of the Ahri charm, so stopwatches means the TF ult, stun rather, will come through. Rapid fire cannon extra distance, and Puma just gets protected. Why are they fighting at the enemy blue quadrant of the map when Baron is about to be up is the question that we have to ask. Why did they not just draw the battle lines and make Order come towards them so that execution was easier?
I feel like, to me, it just a fear, a panic of timings against what Camille was able to achieve in the bot lane. Bio was in a very comfortable spot by enemy Krugs. Zorenous feeling like he had the angle, feeling like he had the pick. The flash was good. Obviously, the deadly flourish would have been there from Jhin. But the overextension to try and take down that incredibly fed Ezreal.
1 minute on the clock until probably the most crucial objective of the game spawns. Baron buff is a really good enabler here for Order to have access to the pit, right? Very difficult to find an entry point against the pit composition that is ahead, but you can't even say they're ahead anymore. They're officially behind in gold. As BioPanther shows you the interaction that I was talking about in Champ Select.
That was the buffer, as you said.
Very well done.
Not going to be caught out, not going to be punished. The rest of the team can continue to try and assert their dominance, pressing these waves, being in a prime position to start up the Zelda in 20.
That was also a Wukong showing himself top lane, not just the Sejuani ultimate. Sej ult, pretty low cooldown. You can see it's already halfway. Gives permission for Kisee and for Order to push bot, get priority, and for BioPanther to continue. However, that is a no teleport Camille sitting there. Order don't want to hit the objective straight away. They want to buy time, create space, use the Ezreal and harass. And he's doing exactly that.
Look at that damage, Rusty. He's already down to 50%. The level of confidence in Puma's hands right now. It's not going to stop topside either. Bio's going to feign a reset, but just chunks out Sejuani. Really has hit that level 18 point of the game.
Time is on his side, BioPanther, with the Baron buff in his pocket. The cannons start to hit the turrets. If Zorenous oversteps, he can trade with him. And now is an opportunity to hit the Elder. Still no teleport there for the Camille. It is not about completing this at all costs. Order have to be very flexible-minded with how they play this one out.
What do Dire Wolves do? If Sejuani leaves, they lose.
Huge Ezreal ult.
They lose the inhibitor. He's trying to force out the fight right now. The True Shot Barrage, as you highlight, zones them back. They're in indecision.
They're teleporting.
Sejuani's dead in the base.
They're going for the end.
Forget the Elder, just end the game right now. It's going to be a 4v5. I don't believe it. What a turnaround here from Order right now as that Nexus turret crumbles on down. They will sprinting out of the base to say,
Puma.
we have to take somebody down. And Puma has just been left to the wayside. And it's Danteh and it gets the shutdown.
3,000 health left
happened?
on the Elder Drake. I don't think the Dials will be able to get here in time to stop this one. It's reset.
Oh no!
It's reset.
No way! Poltron?
He's going to get the pit.
Danteh's killed Corporal! Poltron's ain't good at trying! 76 HP! Rusty, what on earth are we watching?
Absolute fiesta. I've lost it. I don't even know anymore. Just throw everything. Just see what happens.
Hit your smite button and pray.
CLG might be rank 1 in the LCS, but there's more counter logic in the LCO than you've ever seen. They're just going to push mid. They've got the Elder Drake. There's no Puma for 15 seconds. It's an inhibitor at minimum. And look at Order making plays right now for the Ahri. They want to kill the Ahri before this push happens. But a charm can stop the hookshot off the wall. Siuman just buys time and the game ends.
Gets the TP back to base. Bio's holding his breath.
Puma's alive.
He's got a 1v5 this one. They're sieging the turrets. They go for the second one. They knock them up again. Bio buffering with the ultimate. He gets resurrected because of the GA prod. Kisee zapped by Danteh. Look how low Dire will start, but they're looking to try and peel them apart. They take him out. Jhin is dead, but he's done his
Goodo's
job.
back.
But I think Order have held on long enough. There's not enough damage. There's a charm mid-air. He goes golden once again. Poltron has the disengage away. He headbutt pulls the clone. And the zap can't be found. Oh my gosh.
It continues. The turret, it stays alive on one hit. There's no objective on the map right now. We all just have to sit here and accept that this is the game for another couple of minutes. Let's watch a replay. You almost don't know which fight you'll see. Basically just Puma dealing damage with BioPanther to stand in front for as long as possible. Guardian Angel really nice against the Elder Dragon execute just because it helps to buy you more time and effectively means Bio's going to be tanking for an extra couple of seconds there. Goodo's respawn as well as Puma being the most aggressive AD you've ever seen. Sick charm from Siuman, just quietly. But it's not going to stop the actual damage dealer here doing as much damage as he possibly can. Puma may have almost solo lost them the game in the base, but he comes back to help clutch out at least surviving. And they have a Twisted Fate with the ability to split push with an ultimate, but it's not an open nexus, it's a full health turret.
A Baron to Siege to try and end the game. Order tried to rush it. Direwolves with one turret taken as well. Nearly a second trying to execute with the Elder. It almost feels like we're one step away from that insane best of 5 between Chiefs and Peace, or Chiefs and PGG rather. But this is just week 3.
All right, Baron is up right now. There is a ward from Order that will see this one. Control ward just gets placed. Now this goes incredibly quick with Infernal Soul. Expect the unexpected with this objective as well. Who knows?
Redemption goes down. Kisee's not there, nor was BioPanther. Direwolves just rush in as 5, stay grouped as 5, and claim it without being picked apart. 3 minutes on that next Elder. How long are we turtling for?
Depends how Order want to play this. I don't think they've been a team that goes quietly into letting Direwolves push. Direwolves have to show a lot of respect. You can see they're actually pinging towards the bot lane inhibitor turret. They're so afraid. You can't split, right? You can't do anything alone. You have to be grouped as 5. Zorenous, he's hovering. They're protecting. Twisted Fate ultimates, find pick angles. He's going to find 5 of them instead. Huge Ezreal ultimate. There's going to be a nuts damage dealt this game from Puma. Because they just ults mid. And again, they'll push. And this is rinse and repeat. Clear the waves, disappear.
We've already smashed the record for the longest game. That was held by Direwolves and Kanga before at 39:56. We're fast approaching 45 minutes, potentially even 50 if we can't close it out with this Baron into an Elder spawn. We call it Match of the Week, and it might be the Match of the Week for very different reasons. It's entertaining, but it's bloody stressful.
It's certainly been a match in this week. Teleport in mid lane. Order just going to stick to one lane. They do kind of have to ARAM here. They're against the Baron team. All they need to do is just chill out for a little bit. Let the Baron subside. Minute 20 left on that buff. Elder Dragon should be the buff that basically decides the game. Elder Dragon 2 to be seen potentially. Direwolves, however, have felt confident enough to group as 5 now with BioPanther. No teleport. Having to recall to defend. At least force Bio back to base. That is what Direwolves would be thinking here.
Near full items on the majority of the players here. It's a late game scenario. It's a deadly flourish that does not catch out Puma. It's Bio jumping in. He's looking for Danteh to cleanse that set away. The redemption on top of his head. The hexagon man goes across. And a knock up. A beautiful charm onto Camille. Is that enough? Deadly flourish. Corporal goes in. 4-man pulverized. He knocks back Poltron, who flashes away and receives a meaty shield from Karma. Direwolves are running them down. Look at them go inside the base. Siuman takes down 2. There is the ace, a perfect ace. 45 minutes in, and Direwolves have closed this one out with a banger.
Never in doubt for the Direwolves. Easy game from them. They did start with a lead. They looked in control for 90% of the game. There was definitely some dicey points where the game was honestly thrown. Order had a real chance to win this game, but they threw it back just as fast as they got the opportunity. An absolute chaos ensued, but you can only help but smile like the Direwolves are with mostly relief. I think it's fair to say mostly relief. That game finally ended.
That was a cardio workout. I'm exhausted.
About 4 times we went to like run out of the green room. We're like, oh, game's ending. Oh, no, it's not ending. Oh, game's ending. And we just stood there for 10 minutes just watching from the sideline. It was like,
Yeah.
That game.
I genuinely
wow.
could not hold in my laughter when I saw literally Puma TPing into base and then
Yeah.
Elder Drake got given over.
Oh,
Elder
Drake reset
Elder
as well.
reset. It had no reason
Elder.
resetting. It just
It was
decided
like
it was
smite,
sick of this.
smite. Oh,
I'm done. I'm just
Try
resetting real
not to
quick.
mold impossible challenge.
Oh wow, the game itself just never wanted to end, and we just received word as well that not only was it the longest game we've seen so far this split, I think overall, Skimmy, you said as well. Now there's a new highest CS record for Puma with 474 CS at the end of that game. Ridiculous scenes here from him. The man, we were sitting in the green room saying Puma is refusing to let this game end, and he only died that one time over in the base, and then the other time right at the end of the game. That were the crucial ones. Obviously, he died much earlier, but what a bloody game. It felt like Direwolves just, it was their game to lose for the first 25 or 30 minutes of the game, and Order just could not get a break until this specific moment at the Baron Kitty.
This game was just an absolute banger, like Skimmy said, and please take as much time as you want because that was extremely stressful, even for me watching from the green room. But I really liked what Order was trying to play, which was the Camille into the Sejuani, where I think with this solo pusher, you are able to get a lot of solo side lane pressure with that push, especially with the TF. You can do a lot of side picking with that, and with this Elder Drake, let's pretend this never happened because this was absolutely tragic coming out of Order. I feel really bad, but something
Let's
else
not
that
pretend the dying in base 30 seconds prior happened
yeah,
either.
let's yeah, I have completely forgot about that. But something I haven't forgot is look at that Viego build. It's quite unique. We have a Dead Man's Play and Force of Nature Viego. So I wonder if that's actually the build to go, or do you think maybe a more damage-based build would have been better? But 12.4.
53.7 thousand damage dealt. Look at that gold swing. It was at the 38-esque minute mark where Order actually came back, evened up, and even just barely got in lead with that gold. And then it just swung back the other way after the mishap.
Yeah, I really want to talk about how Wukong is currently S tier in the jungle, and we have spoken how Viego is the next jungle that is the strongest, but we can clearly tell the difference between Wukong and Viego because he's currently 0-4 against Wukong, so it just shows everyone how important that first pick Wukong was for Direwolves.
Spin to win, baby. That's
Probably
what it's all
stop seeing
about.
it banned, really. I think Wukong should be banned by red side teams the way that it's been performing so far. Blue side first pick just seems to always win.
yeah.
Yeah, it just seems that way. Now, we have Zorenous on the line to have a chat to for the post-match interview. Big man, how are you feeling after that thriller?
Well, look, I'll be honest. I wasn't really sure who was gonna win. Like, it looked pretty dire for us at times, with it all tipping into our base. But no, I'm glad to pick up a win. I mean, a win's a win, right?
Exactly.
Owen is definitely a win, and you guys are currently second in the ladder, so did you guys expect to do so well this early in the split?
I think we did expect to do relatively well. I think a lot of teams are underestimating us because, like, with all our roster changes and such. But I did expect to do relatively well. But we'll find out tomorrow how we go.
Yeah, look, we did ask Poltron as well in an earlier interview what it was like being able to like make calls on the fly, being in the game with you guys. Do you like it better having him there, just enabling him to, you know, do you feel like it's improved your macro overall, just having like, you know, real quick calls from the brain that is Poltron?
I think it certainly has helped, but there's definitely a difference between calls that you make when you're looking at the post game as a coach and calls you make in game, for sure.
We saw a lot of macro decisions in that game. Some were questionable, some were really good, but I do want some answers to Sejuani top because we've seen her 3 times today and it is the new meta. So do you want to elaborate on why Sejuani is such a blindable pick?
Well, pretty much it's just a nice tank with engage, and it pairs really well with these melee jungles like Viego and Wukong because you can stack your stun passive really quickly, and also you can actually play the laning phase unlike some other tanks.
All right, we're going to go let you get some well-deserved rest after that 45, 46 minute, whatever the hell that was. So, match of the week. And it certainly was. Zorenous, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
There you go, buddy. I'm out of breath just watching it. Honestly, just watching those games, it's like, just holding my breath.
Here
There's
I was
so many of those
thinking-
moments.
I thought, oh, I could come into this one, rest my voice up a little bit, and now,
Nah, not today. Not today.
absolutely
All right,
rinsed.
so who do we want for the
Oh.
Dare MVP? Because it's got to be someone.
Can we spell his name out? We have 4 people here. Come on.
So I was thinking, it's
Puma.
either
I'll give it a Puma.
I'll give it to
He's
PM.
I was thinking it was like Siuman had a lot of insane moments with huge charms. But I think it's probably Poltron just for the insane driving momentum from 15 to 25 minutes. The fact that he had a huge lead and showcased why that Wukong is so justifiably broken. So it's probably my tip.
What's your tip? Are we all in agreement to save time?
Yeah.
Yep, good. All right,
The monkey. Come
Poltron,
on.
there you go. Big monkey man doing the job in the jungle today. Poltron, 8, 2, and 15. There was a point when he was like 6-0 and bloody 5 or 7. Doing a whole lot of work. 88% KP. Spinner to win. Huge amount of CC, I'd say, if you have a look at that.
Which also note that Poltron's been just a kindred one trick up until this split of the LCO where he's jumped back into competitive, right? So this is a guy who's had kindred banned against him all except one game where he went crazy with it and is still getting MVP and deservingly getting MVP with huge performances on the meta. So shows his adaptability in that he was a kindred one trick by choice because he likes the champion. Now he's in competitive, he can do anything.
Playing hard, playing fair, and bringing that big brain to Direwolves. But ladies and gentlemen, we have one match remaining today, and we're going to get to another break to catch up time to get into that final game. And of course, it is going to be Pentanet and Gravitas coming up just after the break.
I don't think the Direwolves will be able to get here in time to stop this one. It's reset.
Oh no!
It's reset.
No way!
Poltron is going to get the pit.
Dante's killed Corporal! Poltron's ain't good, he's trying! 76 HP! Rusty, what on earth are we watching?
Absolute fiesta. I've lost it. I don't even know.
Hey, look, menu pog.
And we'll bring up some more answers as the night goes on. But for now, before we jump into the match discussion, Kitty, I need you to do
Explain the map again
the
for the
dance
viewers.
they were doing one more time. Now that you're on camera.
So, all champions. Yeah. Like, all champions did this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because they were capturing it. No, I know what you mean now.
Yeah.